Hello everyone, I'm Michelle Smith and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, then welcome. I'm so happy you found me. I have an Easter gnome wreath for you today. In today's crafting adventure, I'm going to add a new gnome wreath to my series of wreaths. For the Easter gnome wreath, you do not need any special wreath form to do this project. I hope you enjoy the tutorial. Let me show you how to make it. To get started on today's project, you're going to need a sheet of plastic canvas. Now, I picked this package up quite a long time ago, but I got it from Walmart, and you get 3 sheets in it, and I believe it was about $5 or $6. And the size that I'm using is 12 inches by 18 inches. You will need 1 sheet. You will also need one of the 8-inch wreath forms that you can pick up from Dollar Tree. They come in a package of 2, but you will only need 1. You'll also need a black Sharpie or some form of pen so that you can trace out the shape of your hat. We're going to be using the plastic canvas to do our hat. So this way you can shape it any way that you like. So the first thing that we're going to do is place our 8-inch wreath form here down on the bottom. And you want to start where one of the crossbars are. You want that to be parallel. Get that placed. And then you're going to trace that half ring down here on the bottom. So you're going to start that way. Now you can shape your hat however you like, and it can be as big as the piece of plastic canvas that you have. So just kind of use your pen. I just go freehand. I like it when they kind of sway back and forth from one side to the other. And don't be afraid, because you can, if it doesn't look right, just keep tracing around until you find something that you like. If the shape doesn't look right to you, just play with it a little bit more. Once you get your shape the way that you like it, you can go ahead and cut out. You just want to make sure that the bottom here where you traced is still secure, because we're going to be attaching this to the wreath frame. You want to make sure that it's wide enough so we can get it fully secure. And just a good pair of heavy-duty scissors works very well in cutting this out. I really do enjoy working with the plastic canvas. You can cut it into any shape and also use it to help support other wreath forms. This product can be picked up pretty much anywhere. You can get it at Walmart or any craft store, Joann's, Michael's, or Hobby Lobby. Okay, so just go ahead and play with it until you get the shape that you want and get it cut out. You're also going to need some floral wire. This is a 26 gauge that you can get from Dollar Tree. I always like to pick up the silver because I can use it on pretty much anything. You'll want to cut 4 pieces of wire that are just a couple inches long. This is what we're going to use to attach the plastic canvas to the wreath frame. And I'm going to start on this side where the crossbar is. And I'm going to feed from the back to the front. I just want to make sure that I get the first piece around the crossbar, and I want it to be attached near the bottom here. Okay, so I have it around the crossbar here and pulled to the front. Just pull it down nice and tight and give it a twist. I'm going to pull those ends together and then lay them down flat. You don't need to trim them. We're going to be covering the top and stuffing it. That's why I want to pull everything that might be sharp forward. That way it's not going to do any harm once the wreath is done and you hang it up. Then you'll want to attach it directly on the other side. You want to make sure that this is nice and straight across the center. Attach it here at the crossbar and then on this side, so that it is attached in 4 places. Okay, my plastic canvas is very nice and secure to my wreath frame. Go ahead and set that aside. We're going to work on his beard now. So you're going to need some chenille stems cut in half. You're going to need some chenille yarn. I chose the color white. And then to make things easy for me, I cut a piece of cardboard. Now this is 8 inches wide. Take a piece of your pipe cleaner. I just cut mine in half. Put it at the top. Find the end of your yarn. Now you want to start your yarn at the bottom here. And then you're just going to gently wrap this around. And you want to go about 20 times. For your convenience, in the description box below is a detailed list of all the tools and materials I used to make the Easter gnome wreath. And then when you end, you want to end down here at the bottom and then just trim. Then you take your pipe cleaner here at the top, pull it up, pinch at the base there, and give it a twist. And then at the bottom here, you can slide your scissors in and trim. Okay, so that's the first piece for his beard. Okay, so we're going to attach these, and we're going to start by attaching them right across here onto the plastic canvas. And you want to push it through from the front to the back. So I just put it through 2 holes in the plastic canvas and 1 on either side of the metal ring here on the corner. Just give that a good twist or 2. Trim off any excess and push down your pipe cleaner. And so that's your first little bundle. You just want to go ahead and fill it in all the way across the side here. And then we're also going to go in underneath and add a few more down here to add and fill in on his beard. I have my beard on. Here on the back, I put 9 bundles all the way across here. 1 on either side, 1 in the middle, and then 3 to fill in. And then down here I did 5 bundles, 1 in the middle, and then 2 on either side coming up. This is what my beard looks like. So now you can lay it down and you can do some trimming. Just kind of lay it out. Grab your scissors. And just do a little grooming and a little shaping. I think his beard looks nice, thick and full, very soft and fluffy. And I used the Just Chenille that you can pick up at Dollar Tree. I used 2 packages, and let's see. Each package is 65 yards. You will need 2. Whatever chenille yarn you have left over from the second roll, go ahead and wrap it. And then what you want to do is you want to pull it off of the cardboard. Then you want to find the center. Pull them together and find the center and wrap another pipe cleaner around the center. This is going to be the mustache. Pull that nice and tight and twist. And then go in and cut loops on either end. Okay, and then that's going to be the mustache. Now we're going to work on the nose. I have one of these styrofoam balls. They come in a package of 3. It's 2.4 inches. This is my favorite size to use for the nose. And then I also picked these up at Dollar Tree. These are Shanty's leg wear. There are 3 pairs, and they are just little nylon booties. You only need 1. Just wrap it around the nose. Want to pull all of the stuff in the back. These do have a little lining right across the toe, so you want to pull that to the back as well. So you get a nice coverage like that, and then I just pull it to the back, and then I give it a tie, a little knot to hold it. You can also wrap a little rubber band or a piece of wire, but this works just as well, and that's what you're going to glue down, so it's not going to show at all. If you have anything excess, you can trim it off. But now your nose is ready to go. I like the look much better than trying to paint the styrofoam ball. If you try to paint the styrofoam ball, it makes it look really lumpy, and then you don't get that nice smooth look for the nose. You're also going to need a pair of bunny ears. Now I chose this one with the blue in it because the fabric that I'm going to be using is this really pretty light blue fabric that I got at a Crafter Square. And I thought those would go good together. Now I had a hard time finding bunny ears in my Dollar Tree this year. I don't know why, but none of my stores had gotten any in. I found these at the 99-cent store, but you can use whatever bunny ears that you can find. Now I don't want these little pink bows here, so I'm going to cut them off. Okay, so you want to remove this outer part. Go ahead and leave this inner part. We're going to need that to keep those ears standing up. But just kind of cut the fabric and then go in and just bend it. It should just snap. If you enjoy hauls, crafts, and learning new craft techniques, please consider subscribing to my channel. I do upload new content every week. If you hit the notification bell when it pops up, YouTube will let you know every time I upload new content. Now you also need to make sure that you have enough fabric to cover your hat. And as you can see, one piece of the Crafter Square fabric is plenty big enough. And I'm also going to be stuffing the hat a little bit as I go so that it's not real flat. But that piece looks really nice. I am going to go and iron this to get these creases out so I have a nice smooth surface to work with. I have my piece of fabric all nice and ironed. You want to lay down your frame Here at the top, I've added a piece of pipe cleaner to hang it with. Now, as I wrap it, I will cut a little hole and pull that out. So you want to lay it down, make sure that you have enough fabric all the way around that you can cover it. Now I'm going to start to attach it on this side. Because this curve comes down, this is going to be the more difficult side, so I want to get this side attached first. And I'm going to start down here at the bottom. And I'm just simply going to add some hot glue onto the frame and here onto the plastic canvas. And just do small sections at a time and pull the fabric over. And as you glue it, go ahead and trim your fabric. This will make it easier for you to work with. You just need to leave about a ½ inch to an inch of fabric. So I'm going to continue to glue this up until I get to my hanger. Now I have attached my fabric all the way up to this point to where I have my hanger. I cut a very small little hole. I'm going to take the hanger and push it through that hole. And now I can continue to glue this down as I come around the tip here. And once you get it glued down, go ahead and trim your fabric. This just makes sure that you have plenty of fabric to get everything glued down. If you glue it first and then trim, sometimes if you trim it before and then you try to get it glued down, you don't get it just right and then you end up not having enough. So this way I know I'm good. I will have what I need. Okay, now that we're going to go into this curve, I need to do a little bit of trimming beforehand so that I have the fabric I need. And then to help me get through this area, do a few cut-ins. This just helps me wrap it nicely right around that big curve. That way this will fold over a little easier, this will fold over, and I can get those curves a little bit better. And then here, my tip ends here, but if I want that to continue, cut off this excess here. Yeah. So here I can fold the fabric at the very tip. And then to come to a nice strong point, just fold it over at the very end a little bit and glue it down. And just cut a little bit right in the center there. Give it a second to cool and then pinch it together. and twist. You want a nice little point. And so I just kept folding it over till it came to a point and glued it down. And now I'm going to glue just this curve here, and then I'm going to stop, and then we'll start to stuff the hat. Looking good so far. Turn it back over. And now I have some stuffing from an old pillow. If you don't have an old pillow, you can always go to Walmart, buy one of their inexpensive polyfilled pillows that you can pick up usually for less than $5 and use that. That's usually a better bargain than going and buying the polyfill. So now I'm just going to work on getting some of the stuffing into the hat so I can get it to look a little bit more three-dimensional instead of so flat. Okay, now that I have some more stuffing in there, I'm going to start attaching more of my hat. I needed to leave it open so that I could get the stuffing in, so I know how much extra fabric to leave. Okay, then just keep stuffing and glue all the way down the side. Now that you have it stuffed, you want to go back and glue down the rest of your fabric now that you have it trimmed. If you want to trim it a little bit more, go right ahead. Then just take some hot glue and fold down and glue down the rest of those. This will just make it extra secure and look a little bit better in the back. Now turn it over. We still have this piece which we need. We'll just leave that there for now. Pull down any of your beard. Now we're going to attach our ears, and I want to put my ears right about here. And what I'm going to do here is right where the base is, where I'm going to put my ear. I'm going to trim right up. I'm going to hot glue my ears here, and then I'll pull this over and cover it up so the ears are sticking out. But I want to get this glued down to the plastic canvas. Okay, now I'm going to glue down the fabric here over the ears. So I'm just wrapping and gluing the fabric down around the base of the ear. You want to do that to both sides. And then we'll cuff this and trim it. We're also going to add some fuzzy trim across the top here, so you won't be able to see this area when we're all done. I have my ears glued down, and now I'm going to attach my nose. I'm going to put it down here, and I'm going to hot glue it right there. Now I'm going to pull the fabric down, and I'm going to do a little fold. I'm going to fold it up once and then fold it up twice, and I'm going to glue that down. So I'm going to fold it up once, I'm going to lay down some glue, and then I'm going to fold it up the second time. So it looks like it has a little rim. Then I'm going to glue that onto the nose. Now the little pieces on the side here, I'm also going to fold up once and then fold up a second time to continue the rim. Now as you can see, there's space on either side. That's what the mustache is for. So just twist it down a couple times and remove the excess pipe cleaner. You know, right where the pipe cleaner is, that's where you're going to put your glue. I'm going to glue this right underneath the nose. Okay, and then you can kind of fluff it out so that it kind of fills in those spaces. Doesn't that look cute? Now before I put any fuzzy trim on his hat here, I want to do a little bit more decorating to his hat. Now I found this really pretty garland. You can pick this up at Dollar Tree. It is an egg garland. I'm going to use this to kind of wrap around his hat a little bit to add a little bit more Easterness up here. Now it does come on a jute cord. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by gluing it down here. Flip it over to the back, and then I'm going to glue the jute cord right onto the back here. You want to let this glue fully set up before you move forward. I have my egg garland attached. And what I did was I glued down the jute cord, and then I put a piece of the extra fabric I had left over. I glued that on top. Then I ran my eggs, and then I separated, and again on this side I just glued down the jute cord, covered it with a piece of fabric, did the same thing here, and then ended here. Now that is one piece of the garland. I think that looks really pretty. Now here for the tip, I have a nice big white pom-pom. This came out of the pom-pom kits that Dollar Tree has to make their little bunnies. Just separate it down till you find the center string and add some hot glue and place it on the end. The last thing I'm going to do is add some fuzzy trim here on his hat. And I have some of this nice thick chunky chenille yarn left over from a previous project, so I'm going to use some of this. Okay, so I want to see some of this blue trim here that I put there. So I'm going to run it on the top here, but where my cut is, that's where I'm going to come down because I don't want to see that, just so I see a little bit of that blue here over the nose. And there you go, we are all done. Now I ran 2 rows of my fuzzy yarn there. I think that looks really cute. I like that little bit of the blue still showing from the hat. And I really love the eggs. I think the pom-pom was the perfect final addition for the hat. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's Easter gnome out of my gnome series wreaths. Thanks so much for stopping by. You know it's always a pleasure to see you. I hope everyone is staying happy, healthy, and strong. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.